In the NBA today, though the teams are shut down, there are a lot of stars that help drive the league forward. And there are just as many teams that are on the rise to help make their teams better. One of the young guns, if you will, is that of Devin Booker of the Phoenix Suns, who is considered one of the true rising stars of the league. But how much do you know about him? Allow us to show you some interesting facts. Number 10. His dad was also in the NBA. You often don't hear about legacy players in the NBA because at times, while NBA legends have kids, they don't always make it to the pros or don't desire to play basketball at all. Think about how Michael Jordan's kids aren't in the NBA or other legends who had big names. It rarely happens. As for Devin Booker, his father Melvin was in the NBA for a small time. Melvin was a very solid college player and was huge in the Big 8, but it didn't lead to NBA success. However, he did tour Europe a lot and had some really good success there. Even without his big success in the league himself, he was able to pass along his love of the game to Devin, who quite literally picked up the ball and ran with it. Number 9. He had to move to improve. Despite what people tell you, there is no guaranteed way to play games like basketball, football, and baseball well. You can train all you want, but if you don't have certain things in you, you're not going to do well. When Devin was growing up, he lived in Michigan and was a decent basketball player. But his father knew that he could be more and begged both him and his mother to move to Mississippi in order to help Devin improve his skills. They did so right before his sophomore year in high school, and the difference could be felt. He went to the school Melvin and his own father had gone to, Moss Point High, and in his 3 years there, he became their all-time leading scorer, with 2,518 points. You don't get that if you're not good at the game, you know? And that, of course, led him to future success. Number 8. Devin is very competitive. I'm sure on some level, some of you are thinking, well, of course he's competitive. He's a ball player. But as Michael Jordan will tell you, there are different levels of competitiveness. And Devin falls into the version of obsessed more than anything else. When it comes to team practices, he goes and puts himself out there to not just practice harder than the others, but he'll show up early to make sure he does his routines, and he'll demand to keep playing until he beats his peers in games of knockout. Apparently, this drive started when he was a kid, and it's clearly carried it along throughout his basketball journey. Number 7. International traveler. Being a ball player, Devin has to travel all over the country with the Phoenix Suns to play games. But his love of traveling can actually be rooted to his father's time in pro sports. Mainly, he once had to travel to Italy to go see his father play, and he loved the experience so much that he wanted to travel to other countries. He even said he wants to travel to at least one country a year, and that he loves when he gets new stamps on his passport. You might call that childish, but everyone has to have a hobby, and traveling is hardly a bad one. Number 6. Family roots. Devin has quite expansive family roots outside of the United States, as he has family in both Mexico and Puerto Rico. In fact, because of his lineage, it would technically be possible for Devin to go and play for the Puerto Rican national team should he ever feel the urge. He also has strong ties to Mexico via his maternal grandfather, and he has said himself that he really wants to go and travel to meet his extended family. Number 5. 70-point game. Okay, if you know Devin Booker, you know this particular stat, but since it's one of his greatest, we're going to mention it anyway. The idea of a young buck scoring a lot of points isn't new. MJ, Magic, Larry, LeBron, and others have done it, and even Devin had 40-point games in his early parts of his son's career. But in March 2017, he went and dropped 70 on the Boston Celtics that stunned everyone. Not the least of which was because he was only 20 when he did it, and legends like Jordan and LeBron haven't done 70 points before. In fact, he's one of only 6 players to ever go and score more than 70. Number 4. He's dating an Instagram model. Yeah, we're going there. Look, the lives of the NBA players outside the NBA court is a big talking point for many. And for Devin Booker, he's going to get a lot of attention whether he likes it or not. Not because he's a superstar per se, but because he's dating an Instagram model in Hannah Harrison, and she posts her life on social media, which means he's going to be caught up in it. Whether the relationship lasts though, that's up to him and her. Number 3. The art of trash talk. Trash talking in the NBA isn't just something that's done, it's almost a necessary part of the game. Given Devin Booker's nature in terms of competition, it makes sense that he trash talks. But sometimes it does get him into trouble. Like when he went toe-to-toe online with Joakim Noah and other NBA stars had to come to his defense. But others do indeed praise Booker for his ability to trash talk with the best of them. Number 2. He's good friends with other NBA stars. I'm sure that doesn't sound shocking, but when it comes to D'Angelo Russell and Tyler Ulis, it's a different story. He doesn't just know them, he's been friends with them since middle school. The odds of that happening? Pretty high when you go to the camps they went to in order to hone their skills. But still, seeing all three make it to the NBA? That must have been cool. Number 1. His future. It's hard to talk about his future given the state of the NBA, but there's little doubt in some players, coaches, and analysts' mind that Devin Booker is destined for greatness. He's a key part of the Suns, and should he ever be traded or sign with a true playoff contender, he might just be what they need to take their game to the next level. So there you go, a look at Devin Booker and some of the things that makes him tick. How big do you think he'll get to be in the NBA? Do you think he could lead the Suns or another team to the title? How long will it take to do that? Let me know in the comments below. Be sure to subscribe, and I'll see you next time on the channel.